Hi all, this is Rangan Jaikrishnan or JK as most people know me. Just providing you a background, I have more than 30 years of experience in sales, spanning various global geographies. I'm a mentor and coach, specializing in go-to-market strategies for startups. I also mentor corporates in sales as well as engage in one-on-one mentoring programs. Today, I'm excited to launch this podcast series where I'll be interviewing startup founders to explore their challenges, successes, and the lessons they have learned along the way. Another theme, sales challenges at various stages of a startup lifecycle. A startup begins with an idea anchored on a specific problem statement, leading to the development of a product or a solution. One of the common pitfalls is becoming so engrossed in developing the solution and solving the problem that they overlook the necessity of building a robust sales and partner network. This network is vital not just for reaching the target market, but also for starting the sales process even before launching the product. Building these connections early can significantly enhance market penetration and drive sales success. Today's podcast will explore the sales challenges startups face at different stages of their life cycle. We'll focus on three key milestones in the journey of any startup. Phase 1, conceptualization. The product is still in development and the challenge is validating the idea, securing early interest and refining the value proposition. Phase 2, early adoption. The product is ready and early adopters are coming on board. The focus now shifts to customer feedback, refining the sales approach and proving market fit. And finally, sales 3, which is scaling. Now with a growing customer base and strategic partnerships, the challenge is scaling efficiently, optimizing the sales processes and preparing for potential engagements with venture capitalists. In this very first episode, I'm honored to welcome a distinguished guest speaker, an accomplished startup founder who has not only built but successfully scaled multiple ventures, having navigated these critical milestones time and again. He brings a wealth of first-hand experience and invaluable lessons on what it takes to turn an idea into a thriving business. So our guest today is Sandip Chintawar. Sandip, welcome to this show.
Thank you, JK. Thanks for calling me. And it's an honor to be here. And all the best for your podcast.
Thank you. So just giving you a background on Sandip, after completing his postgraduate studies at the University of Roorkee, he undertook a brief research stint at IIT Bombay before seizing an opportunity to migrate to the United States in 1993. Within 18 months, he founded his first tech startup, which was self-funded and bootstrapped. And following the acquisition of this company, he launched another tech startup in 1999, which secured venture capital funding and was acquired in 2004. Then upon his return to India, he established two consulting firms, one of which was acquired while the other became part of the Wonderlab group. He co-founded Plexus Technologies, a tech company responsible for designing and hosting prominent portals like Times of India, Rediff, ICICI Direct, etc. With extensive experience in building companies, he has now turned his focus to investing, spreading his investments across venture capital funds and brick-and-mortar enterprises. Sandip, it would be really insightful if you could share your journey of moving to the US in 1993 and starting your first company there.
Sure, JK. As you said, in 1993, I was in IIT Bombay, and then I got recruited in one of the well-funded product startup. They were in project management. I went to Silicon Valley. That time, Silicon Valley was very small. Very few companies were there which are funded. I worked for that company for 18 months. At the same time, internet was coming up, if you remember those days.
Right.
There were around maybe 10,000 total .com websites. and a lot of buzz was coming. That the things were growing. So I thought it's a good time to do something myself and use my technical abilities to develop a software. And we got into website analysis software. That time, websites were growing every day. People had portals and websites, but they did not know how many people are visiting, who are visiting. The information was very limited. Still, people would like to know that how many visitors are coming. A lot of money was spent on these websites.
I can imagine that, yeah.
So we launched the website analytics software, and it was good experience. And after that, started one more company after this company got acquired. So that was my initial journey.
Great. That was an incredible journey, Sandip. Now let's delve into the key sales challenges that startups face in the B2B space through different stages of their life cycle. Can you provide me with an overview on how you navigated these stages in your entrepreneurial journey?
Yeah, one of the most crucial elements in B2B sales is building long-term relationship, and which is based on credibility of the founder or the people who are involved. Trust is very important in this relationship and absolutely essential. And I think for new generation, it is very important to understand that without trust and credibility, it is very tough to navigate the business world.
Absolutely.
It is all human relationships. It is not a virtual relationship. It is a human-to-human relationship.
Absolutely. Being in sales, I cannot agree with you more on this. Yeah. So, transparency can make or break a business relationship. Definitely. Can you provide some examples from your experience where honesty played a pivotal role?
Yeah, sure. When I started first company, I was very young and a technocrat engineer, right? Selling a product for a young founder. Not easy. It never been easy.
Correct.
What we could sell and was easy was because we were honest that this is what we have. These are the features which are not there. We were going to release in few months or few weeks, and people trusted because they knew that we can deliver technically, and that trust was very important to launch the product even that time.
Absolutely.
And the people that time, the buyers were like we used to call web administrators and marketing. People were having a dual roles. Marketing people became web administrator, or web administrator became marketing person, and then those were our typical persona. And that trust which was built, those people are now big people all across the world.
Okay, great. Absolutely. No, it's really an excellent point, Sandip, what you made. So integrity is not just a moral choice, but it can also turn into a strategic advantage.
Yes, exactly.
So that's the point.
Yeah. So coming back to integrity, when we sell, the customer has multiple choices. The decision makers, right? There are so many choices. They will try to see in you what product you have. Once they are happy with your product, then they look at you that whether you are trustworthy.
Correct.
Whether what you are saying, is it there or not. Your product may be good right now, but they are looking at they have long-term commitment. So they need to trust you that what you commit now, you are going to deliver in the future.
And that trust is the foundation for their own investment in your product.
Yes. Yeah.
They get invested in the product just by seeing that trust in you, the honesty, the integrity. Yeah. And that forms the foundation of this relationship with the 100%. Customer.
And this relationship goes long way. It is not only for this company or this product. It goes long way, and some relationships are lifelong.
Correct. Absolutely. So it's clear that your approach to honesty and integrity has played a significant role in your success. Now let's pivot to the journey versus the result in the entrepreneurial path.
Yeah, when I meet the entrepreneurs, when they come for mentorship to me, what I see is they are very obsessed with only one startup. Most of them think that if this startup becomes successful, if he or she can make money, this is it. But I don't think that is the right way to look at it. Even I used to, maybe I had a similar thinking when I started first startup. But I think it's a journey. You're not going to end your working life in 3 years or 5 years or 4 years. It is a whole journey, and person should enjoy that journey and not only look at this particular venture.
Right. And also the other thing is sometimes failure can be inevitable. as you would have been more experienced. As you start building, there would be failures, there would be rejections. So, what is your take on that? Failure can be inevitable part, actually.
Yeah, failure somehow in our society it is not talked about. Even in business world, failure is integral part of anything in life, but especially in business and especially in startup.
Right.
Right. I am invested in some of the early stage funds and also invested in the startups. 90% companies fail even after doing all the due diligence, and those are one of the best founders available.
Absolutely.
But still they fail.
Absolutely.
So most of them they are standing up and doing it again.
Yeah. So they take it as a learning.
They take it as a learning, and if you do that, you will be successful one day.
Absolutely. And what about network, Sandip, social network? I mean, you need to bounce your ideas in your network. So.
Yes, you need to be social. What happens is very interesting is people in technology, they are not very social. All right. Very introvert.
Right.
And they have good ideas.
They have a development mindset. So.
They have development mindsets, right? And then they have very good ideas. They can solve the problems, but they cannot communicate. My suggestion is when you are a technologist or you're a technology founder with introvert personality, you find some good co-founder
Correct.
who can communicate, who can do sales, who believes in your vision.
Absolutely.
And who can then communicate that vision to others. And it can be a very good team.
Absolutely. I completely agree with this. I completely resonate with this point. And also, one very key point you touched on failures. You have to take them as learnings rather than as setbacks, because the more you take them as learnings, the more you are motivated to go into the next step and succeed in the next step.
Yes.
And having the experience of failures, you will avoid all those pitfalls
Yes.
when you do the next time. So that's a wonderful point. So, I mean, it's safe to say that the journey is just as important as the end result, surely.
Yes.
And you're saying that you have to enjoy the journey more than trying to get the result out of it.
Yeah, and take the failures, take the successes, both together.
Fantastic point. So, as an early startup investor, I mean, you would have quite some sizable number of startups that have invested at this point in time, right?
Yes.
So something around.
Yeah, one of the fund I invested, I think they must have invested in out of their 4 or 5 funds, they must have invested around 200 companies.
Okay.
Out of those 200 companies, maybe 2 are unicorn, and then maybe 10% success.
Yeah, that's the standard percentage that goes with this thing. Okay. Great. Now, before we get into the actual journey through each stage of the startup life cycle, let's focus on the sales strategy, which I think is very, very crucial for any startup success. What do you think, Sandip? How important is it to have a well-defined sales strategy and target market focus?
It is very important. It is very important to know your product positioning. You should be able to communicate to all the stakeholders what your product positioning is here in the landscape of all products available in the market. Then you need to have a very good sales strategy, because as you know your product positioning, you know the persona of the customer.
Correct.
And then you can define your sales strategy, and then you can have your sales pitch and everything together.
Right. Now, in spite of knowing that this is very important, why do you think startups generally fall into a trap? What is the reason? I mean,
most of the founders, they come from technical background, and they need to, because even it's a hardware, software, any product, you need to be engineer. And we as engineer need to generally we tend to focus on solution.
Correct.
We get excited with the doing programming, solving problems.
Yeah.
And we forget that developing a product in isolation, we cannot do much about it.
Correct.
You need to able to communicate and find the customer whose problem we are solving.
Absolutely. And have a sales strategy without which any product is going to struggle in the market.
Yes.
So that's very clear. So now this brings us to the first phase of the startup life cycle, which I would call as the conceptualization stage, where the product is not ready still and is under development. So would you say that engaging with potential customers at this stage is part of the strategy?
Oh yeah, it is very important. What I would say is not even wait for the product. Just on the idea, you should try to get some early adopters and who are your ambassadors, who like your idea.
Right.
And when you develop your initial releases, maybe not even public release. They can be your early adopters and customers.
Correct. And also, I think with this combination of having early adopters and your product idea in mind, you also can generate your own value proposition.
Yes.
Right?
And then you get a feedback
Then
from
you get
them.
a feedback
and then
from
you
the customer and you can
develop
continue that.
your product.
Correct.
You can get better MVP out of it.
Correct.
And then you can go to your other stakeholders like investors.
Correct. Absolutely. No, that's very insightful. So, and while we're talking on this, one more interesting aspect comes to my mind at this juncture. How do startups deal with the challenge of competition, especially given a time-sensitive nature of product? Today's technology is fast developing. Everything is, very fast, and there's very limited time window for any development to happen. So it shouldn't happen that you have an idea in mind, but already there's somebody else there in the market who's faster than you in the product. So
that's always a dilemma for the any founders, right? People think that if we go out in the market, talk about it before even developing product, others will pick it up and then release the software. I think those days are gone. Things are coming and releasing online so fast. You need to get out, talk about your ideas, and you need to be really, really fast and good at your execution. Correct. You need to be extraordinary in your field, and you need to execute. It is all about, it is a days of execution.
Right.
So when you say you are going to have this product and this solution, and you know that this is the solution and right solution, and there are people who are agreeing to you, I think it is execution. So you execute. It is time sensitive, yes, and then you, but don't even hesitate to get out.
Correct.
Those days are gone where you have a lot of time to think about it and you develop it and then get in the market.
Agree completely. And I think the more early adopters you take on board, the more you are making them invest in your own product in terms of their own time also.
Yes.
And they get interested. And also combining this point with your earlier point of integrity and honesty, if they see all that in one place, then definitely they don't want to allow anybody else to come in. So this is another way of keeping the competition at bay.
Exactly.
So
means
I
they
think
are into your game.
They are into your game, yeah. Fantastic. So that's a great point. Now let's talk about, since we have touched the topic of early adoption, let's talk about early adoption. So now that you have the product ready, not ready of course, the product was from concept to a certain shape at this point, and there are early adopters who are interested in investing their time and effort into building your product for their end use, which is a great thing. So now we have early adopters. So how do you scale from here? What are your next steps?
Yeah, the scale is then you need a capital. If you have some funding, if you have a good runway, let's say you have a runway for a year or so, you can come with your early version, which you can give it to a broader customer base. If you do not have that kind of capital, then you need to hit two VCs, and then when you hit two VCs, then you need to have MVPs, and then
but before that, you're right.
Before that,
the MVPs are more important. Your first step is really to have a minimum viable
products, yes, and then you have these early customers, and then reference customers.
Absolutely,
and then you get this feedback from these customers, and you
develop
your product,
and probably Sandip, in your experience, you would have also experienced that when you start with an idea, and by the time you incorporate the feedback of customers, it becomes
completely changes what
totally
you starts with and what it ends with. It is completely different,
and that can be a significant change, right?
Significant change.
So that's
so
a good
always
thing,
be dependent on what customer wants. If you are hearing a customer right, and you know whether it's right to put into product, I think you are you are on the right path.
Okay. Now, once you have this minimum value product, then your next challenge is going to be how to price it.
Yes.
Right. So there are two things. One is getting data on what kind of challenges or pain points the customer has, and really how much is that costing the customer. Kind of an ROI. That data is very important. And then for you, how to price your product. So any insights on the pricing part?
When we are still in early stage, right? Why we were talking?
Yeah, early adoption. Yeah,
early adoptions. When we go to early adopters, we can be upfront with them and can ask them that how much they are willing to pay for it. As a customer, if I am on the customer side, I would see how much ROI I have, and I can tell you that your product is saving me this much time. Correct. I am ready to pay this X amount.
Correct. Absolutely.
Right? It is now your job to take that numbers and see whether it's viable business model for you.
Absolutely.
And if it's not, you come back to me, and then we need to discuss, and you need to tell me that how this ROI and how much the better ROI it is. Right?
Yeah.
So I think it's a communication.
It's
with
a communication, and it's a kind of a try to bring a win-win
situation
between the customer and yourself.
And if I am convinced that my ROI is far better than what I am thinking, and then you have a viable business model with that right pricing.
Correct.
And when you start, you can do some market study.
Absolutely.
There are competitive products in the market all the time, and see what kind of prices they are selling to.
That's a valid
So
point.
it's a combination of
It's a combination
things.
of all that. It's a combination of all that. So you know what an existing market has an expectation about a price. There's also an expectation of what your product is delivering and what could be the price. So there's a bandwidth that you already have.
Yes.
So fantastic. That's a good point. So now you are at a stage where you have early adopters, you have certain customers who are invested into it, and going forward from here, what do you think direct sales versus getting partners on board, what would be more important, or what would start first?
I would say as a founder, you should always go for a direct sales so that you get some few customers who are giving you feedback, and you are on the ground with the customers. You know what exactly your product is getting used or solution is getting used, and then you can also know what pitch works, what doesn't work, what is the customer psychology, what is the environment. Once you learn all this, you come back, and then you can expand more, and then you can have other channel
Correct.
partners.
Absolutely.
And everything which we will talk about it.
I completely agree, because the early adoption stage, till your product gets some shape where it is usable in real life scenarios, till that time your focus should be on direct sales. I completely agree.
And
of course
you learn. It's all learning.
It's all a learning, yeah. And of course, when you say direct sales, so there are various approaches to direct sales, right? So anything on that? I mean,
yes. First thing is social network. You need to have a very good network. When you start, you need to have a network. If you do not, then as I told you before, have a co-founder or a partner who has a good social network.
Correct.
You need to have that professional and social network where you can go and make some calls, get some early customers.
Right.
They are the one who are going to trust you first.
Right. The other point is the sales is generally divided between two approaches, top down and bottom up.
Yes.
So many times when any company is going for a sale, they are divided amongst us. So what is your experience between top down and bottom up?
Yeah, those top down, when you have some strategic problems you want to solve, and the stakeholders are the senior executives or the top management, then you can do top down approach.
Yeah.
It's got an advantage. You can directly go to top management to sell your product or solution. And some of the disadvantage is it takes time to sell.
It takes time, but equally there is an opportunity that with top down, since the stakeholders are involved, since the decision makers are involved,
it is very,
the
very
sales cycle
useful.
could be faster.
Yeah, and it depends on your personality.
Absolutely.
If you are good at selling to senior executives, it is nothing like it's a very good sale. Go ahead. If it's a bottom up approach where the end user is mid level or junior level people in the organization, sales may be easy, but then decision making will be.
So it all depends on the how that kind of a user is able to get his management into sponsoring that particular product or solution. Yeah. So I think normally your experience would be more that a blended approach is used, like it could be both, or it could be either.
I always use the blended approach. It works well, especially most of the time. I sold to CIOs, CIOs in this instance IT organizations. Those days where we used to target bottoms up and top down both. If we knew the CIO, directly get the mind share from him, and also get into the IT organization and sell to those people.
Absolutely.
I would suggest try both.
A kind of blended approach, yeah. Top down, as you rightly said, it can take time to get the audience in place, and also repeated discussions can be difficult, challenging, because they are senior people. But equally, they can cut down the sales cycle if they are convinced in one go. They can easily cut down the sales cycle, and there is also a chance or opportunity for getting something bigger.
Yes.
from a top down.
Yeah.
You talk about one thing there, and then they say, "Oh no, this is also applicable to our other areas," and all that stuff. That kind of on the spot increase of value.
Really helps if you have a top down approach and mixed approach.
Yeah.
You have someone from the top who is already buying into your product.
Yeah.
And then you have people who are using it.
Correct.
They are also buying in that. Then
So that makes it very easy
very
easy. Fantastic. Okay, now we come to the next step, which is like now we in our journey we conceptualized, we had early adopters, we went into real sales, we had some champion customers. Now we look at partners, and when I say partners, I mean both channel partners who are just selling your products or technology partners. What I really mean by technology partners is you may have kind of branded companies or established companies that are already creating products which are complementing your products and solution, and it may help for you to kind of piggyback on them, that you integrate with their solutions and sell to their market. So here you have to only do kind of a buy-in once with the partner, and the partner having his influence on his customers will be able to convince his customers. So what do you think about this strategy?
Yeah, I'm a fan of technology partners. So you see the technology world, the whole landscape, there are major players. We have to accept that.
Correct.
If your product is in sync with them, and it can work together, nothing like it.
Absolutely.
I think one should go for the technology partnerships. You get your the whole addressable customer base so quick. You can scale your company like anything.
Absolutely.
And naturally, go ahead.
The cost of acquisition of customers is also less, because that is the most important point, where you have a partner who is already sold, and the partner is also willing to sell your product, because there's a clear vision that the partner is not going to develop what you have developed.
Yeah, and then we spoke about the time to market.
Absolutely.
Do we have time? There is a competition. You are one step ahead than
one step ahead, and you are really riding with a already established brand who is willing to take you around, and that's the best way to scale. I think that's a very good way to scale.
I remember my first company where we had OEM with like Cisco and IBM.
Fantastic.
So we used to ship our software with them, and
so for a company of your size, if you can get a Cisco IBM on board, it's really great.
It is good, and I have experienced it.
Very good, fantastic. Yeah. Okay. Now let's take a look at the phase 3. So again, starting from conceptualization and development and onboarding customers, having signed up partners. Now your challenges would be to retain those customers, obviously. And equally, the other challenge is going to be, how are you going to scale from here? So you've reached a particular momentum, you have reached a particular critical mass, and from here, how are you going to get to the next stage, which would also mean potentially you would want to engage with the VCs at this stage?
Yeah.
So can you throw some light with so much of experience that you have had on the other side?
Yeah.
So now you are on the other side. Earlier you were on the selling your product and getting the VC on board side. Now you yourself are a VC, so that's a different ball game. So you have seen it all.
Yes. And just see what it is about. Till we discussed till now, right? The company is in early stage. We have some customers. There are some ambassadors for you, right? And they can be good reference. They are champions.
Correct.
They are using your product.
They have an ROI. They have an ROI already.
They have an ROI already.
Correct.
Those are the perfect. You are in a perfect situation to get to a VC.
Absolutely.
What VC says is whether customer is a champion.
Yes.
Whether he's ready to buy.
And whether the customer is a brand. If it's a good brand, then that's great.
And then whether he's ready to commit for long term.
Correct.
The time is also important.
Absolutely.
To use the product. And VC is going to look at it. What is your total cost of acquisition for that customer?
Correct.
And what is the LTV, the whole lifetime value of the customer? So generally, you see 3:1, where the customer acquisition cost is 1 and LTV is 3.
Correct.
So if you use that formula, I think you are quite better off.
Absolutely.
And in technology products, it depends what kind of product you have. It can be evolving product. So looking at your technology, where you stand in the space, VCs may be a little bit liberal about it.
Right.
But it is always better to have lower customer acquisition cost,
Absolutely.
and a better long-term value
Absolutely.
of the customer.
That is most important. And plus, there may be other metrics.
Yes, there are many other metrics. Is total addressable market people need to look at.
That is a very important point, Sandip. I think so. Even that, probably you would have done the research even before you
Yes,
went into
exactly.
the product.
We didn't talk about it, but when you start a company or a product, you have to look at what is total addressable market is. If you do not have idea, maybe you go to some experts or mentors and try to see what is total addressable market. That is one of the biggest factor in investment community.
And also to motivate the VC. If there's a big addressable market, then they know, okay, investing in this will make them address the whole market.
And what else you want? You have a very good total addressable market.
Absolutely.
You have champion in customers.
Absolutely.
You have lower cost of acquisition. You have good long-term value in the...
then, of course, then it comes to the very basic things like burn rate, cash runway, these things are...
you can go online, you can look at Y Combinator's websites, and a lot of information is available on the internet. You look at... we already spoke about revenue growth, LTV, the CSE. One important thing is burn rate, which we are not spoken about it. You need to know what is your burn rate right now.
Absolutely.
You are spending time and resources on developing product, selling the product. So you need to see that and then be clear about it. Then you need to have a very clear sales strategy.
Absolutely.
How you have all the numbers on your side, but then you need to have strategy how you are going to get that market share. And then how you are going to grow it.
Absolutely.
And what kind of potential your product has. If you can grow it, you can add more products or a lot of features in your product roadmap.
True. You can increase your portfolio, or you can make that product even more robust. And I think when you talk about metrics, you must, I think, ensure that the data that the source of the data that you're getting should be really accurate and correct. Because that's very important. Yeah.
And there are research reports. There are like research companies like Gartner. And I would suggest to invest in those resources. It is very important. When I was in early stage startups, we thought why to spend money on that. But it is worth spending money on market
This
research.
is the same story with development mindset and you do not realize what can get you what kind of how a sales network helps. In the same way how these kind of data companies can help you get you the
information
metrics,
about the whole space.
Correct.
And then you can even hire some consultants to do the market research if that market research is not available.
Correct. And of course the other things, needless to say, like you should have a compelling narrative, you should have a good pitch. Unless you have all that. That is a given. That is a given. So for example, if you have to say going to the VC is 10 steps more than going to a customer, because customer is just acquiring the customer. VC is like going to invest in you. So, you need to really be selling whatever, all your sales tactics should come into the...
Yes. And as a founder, you need to be in selling.
Right.
That is very important. Communicate what your vision.
Absolutely. So just to summarize, to scale, important is securing a strong customer referrals. You need to have product champions who validate your ROI. You have to have a product roadmap on where your product is today and where it is going. And for VC engagement, there are standard questions that you need to have your metrics, you need to have a data in place. All that fine, sounds great. So from here, what other key factors do you believe are crucial for scaling successfully, apart from engagement with VCs? Maybe there are other methodologies that you want to use or technology you want to talk about.
One is you grow your sales. Have a great sales team. You have a choice when you are in early stage to hire a VP sales or director sales. Or you build a sales organization.
And he builds a team. For example, you bring in a VP and he builds his own team. That's one.
He builds his own team.
Or you go grounds up.
Or you grow grounds up as a founder. I would always prefer to go grounds up.
Correct.
So that I am on the ground. I know how to pitch my product. I know what works. I know what doesn't work.
Absolutely.
And then I hire first SDR, train him or her,
right.
And then give them a target, and then keep building to team. And then you hire senior management.
Absolutely.
And then developing that culture, company culture, and then processes, and the sales pitch. Once you have all these things together, you can hire a salesperson.
And the other thing is, when you take guys younger, it's easier to mold them. to
Very,
your
very
way
easy
of
to
thinking.
mold
Very
them,
easy to
yes.
mold them, to bring them to a culture, to bring them to a. Similarly, when you take a very high senior person, of course he brings his own culture, but equally to bring him to your thought process, to your vision, it may take a little bit time.
Yeah,
But
you can grow
around-
your organization with your vision. If you
Absolutely.
have your clear vision, you know what culture you want.
Absolutely.
You can develop that culture. You can have that vision, and then these
Absolutely.
people can take it, and then you can hire a senior person.
Absolutely. And Sandip, you're talking about some technology where AI can be used for sales as well. I mean, that was very interesting to.
Oh yeah, the technology is we can use technologies like the products like Salesforce, HubSpot. It is very important. It is key. I worked in US and India. In US, there was an always culture to spend resources and money on the software. I think as an Indian entrepreneur, we need to learn to use this software and
Right.
technologies.
Absolutely.
You can scale, you can do a lot of things with these products. You can automate, and you can scale very fast.
Correct. And also with AI.
And
now.
AI, it is everyone should use AI.
Right.
There are AI tools like Grok and ChatGPT. Those are very basic, but there are many companies. One of the company I can tell you about, Gong, out of Israel. They have AI sales agent which goes online with you on sales call, and it gives you feedback, and they will train you how to improve your sales pitch.
That's very
which is
interesting.
amazing.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. It's almost doing the salesman's job, actually.
It is doing a sales manager's job.
Okay.
Who comes on the call and then gives you feedback to the SDR. So you can scale your team so quick. It is worth looking at these tools, and always
Fantastic.
keep a lookout for the new tools coming, because the AI is just new in last 18 months, and there are amazing tools coming for the presentation preparation, email preparation, automating email processes on top of Salesforce or HubSpot.
Absolutely. I mean, this is really very interesting because so much of automation, if you do, then you rely less on people and you can use them for more value-added kind of work.
Yes,
right?
and then online presence for the founder.
Absolutely.
On the Twitter, he needs to have followers, some mind share. He needs to be brand online.
So you can't be shy of this. So
Yes.
there's no point a founder can be shy of being online present. So he has to be enhancing his brand online by various methods. I know even SEO.
Yes,
developing an
SEO, the
SEO
website and your personal website. There should
Yes.
be a personal website. You should be on Twitter. You should be on LinkedIn. You should be talking about what is your philosophy on your product, on your technology. You should come as an expert for your field.
Correct. Absolutely.
And then when you launch your venture or the product, you already have a mind share.
Fantastic.
And then there are tools like Sprout Social and many tools which you can manage your communication in maybe in 20% of the time.
Absolutely. So it reduces so much of your workload.
Yeah,
really.
80% role you can reduce by AI tools and the software tools today.
Very interesting. This is today, and what do we talk about the future?
Yeah, let
Can
AI
do-
come. maybe few people can run the companies.
Yeah, absolutely.
In Silicon
absolutely.
Valley, already investors are betting that there will be 1 or 2% people unicorn in soon, and it will
Wow.
happen. Yes.
Fantastic. Yeah, Sandip, so it was really great talking to you today, and thanks for all the valuable insights you brought to us in this episode. Summarizing the key takeaways from today's session, the very first is customers drive success. So engage with prospective customers right from the concept stage to refine and validate your product. Then customer feedback is so invaluable. You incorporate
Yes.
all this feedback into the product, and real world implementation and validation helps turn the customers into champions and who vouch for your ROI.
Yes.
This goes right up till the investment part with the VCs. Then strategic partners, you really matter. So you leverage on the partner, you leverage on the customers of the partner, channel partners, etc. Then VC readiness is crucial. So you know the standard metrics that are looked at, and those metrics should be ready. You collect your data from proper sources, invest in that. And technology accelerates growth. So you use all the digital tools today to scale and to automate and do your sales more effectively. So great. Do you have any kind of parting words of advice for young budding founders out there?
Yeah, sure. I think learning and improving every day is important for as a founder. Be ready for rejection. Be ready for failures.
Absolutely. I think this is a very good message. Yeah.
For every failure, you should stand up and do it again.
Correct.
Again failure, again you do it.
Correct.
So that will really, you will make success in your journey.
And also builds resilience.
It
You
builds
become very
resilience.
resilient. Yeah.
And look for mentors in your friends or your associates or
Right.
your social networks. Get help.
Correct.
and ask for help
Absolutely.
and help others.
I mean, this is a good point that you made. Ask for help. I mean, this is something that, especially in our country, probably I'm seeing it less happening. I mean, it's more common in the Western world that you really ask for help. But here, it's taken as a setback or a negative.
Or hesitate. People hesitate.
Really
They're
hesitate,
shy.
yeah.
So ask for help and also help.
Correct. And also help. Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
And of course, the soft skills, like you must be a networker, you must be really coming across to people, make people comfortable.
Yes.
And people, even for example, when you're talking to VCs, they should be comfortable working with you, and you should have that kind of a ability to put them at ease.
Yeah, at ease. You need to put everyone at ease.
Correct.
Else you are not an entrepreneur.
Correct.
So thank you. Thanks for being here.
And thanks a lot, Sandip. I mean, it was really, really very insightful. I'm sure your journey is going to inspire a lot many people and lot many budding founders, and they were all very valuable, and it's going to be very beneficial. So we thank you, the audience, for your attention and time. Stay tuned to this space, as we will have more episodes featuring successful founders like Sandip. And you can connect with me on LinkedIn. I go by the name Rangan Jayakrishnan, Rengan Jayakrishnan. I await your valuable feedback on my email, jrangan@gmail.com, as in my name. Thank you.
Thank you.